Hey guys, Elusive Espeon here with another mini deep dive. Today's commenter's Pokemon that we're going to talk about, and that was a strange phrase, is Umbreon. And since it's Umbreon, I figured Umbreon, Espeon, because together. So, let's just jump right in. So, Umbreon was first introduced in Generation 2, which is Johto, one of my favorite regions, and also the day and night cycle. What happens is, in the games, if you catch, an Eevee, and you want to evolve Eevee into Umbreon, how you do that is you have to level up your Eevee at night instead of during the day, and your friendship level has to be really, really high with that Eevee. And then once you're in that sweet spot where you know your friendship is high, because usually there's some goon somewhere in some town that you can walk into, like, their house and be like, hey, what's up, this is my Eevee, supposed to be my best friend, like, how close are we? And then they'll tell you, and then based upon what they tell you, how high the friendship level is. And then so once your Eevee is where he needs to be, then you level him up at night, and then he'll evolve into Umbreon. So, pretty cool. Now, as far as stats go, because we're already talking about, like, game mechanics, he has, pretty decent stats, his special defense being the highest, and he can learn a multitude of moves, which is pretty cool. TM-wise, in my opinion, I think what he can learn is a little more limited. Stuff that I wouldn't normally use, like moves I wouldn't normally use. I don't usually play with Umbreon on my team, because elusive Espeon. So I always go Espeon, because, well, for multiple reasons. But yeah, so that's just my perspective on it. But other than that, I mean, he's pretty dope, and his design is dope, which brings me to the cards. I mean, Umbreon has been featured in so many different cards, and I mean, he has a lot of awesome cards, and Tony loves Umbreon and collects Umbreons. So he has, like, some of the cool ones. We all know how much the little Umbreon is worth, from Evolving Cries, or the other one from, Prismatic Delusions. So we don't tend to try to touch those cards right now, because they're kind of pretty up there, they got the EV tax. So, but yeah, overall, I mean, Umbreon is pretty dope looking. I mean, even his shiny is really cute with, like, the black and then, like, the neon blue, which also very much reminds me of Breath of the Wild, like those blue tones in there. And I bring Zelda into this a lot. I'm sorry, I just do. I'm also a Zelda fan, if you could see the Triforce. Not that this is a Zelda channel, but Nintendo, it fits the realm. Anyway, so now to Umbreon's counterpart, Espeon, one of my favorites. So Espeon, she also has very decent stats, which it's funny because very opposite of Umbreon. Instead of her special defense being high, her special attack is actually her highest stat, which I think is pretty cool, pretty interesting, because they are very much like yin and yang, because even their path to evolution is pretty much like literally day and night, because you evolve Umbreon at night, but the same rules apply for Espeon, high friendship, except you have to evolve her during the day. I think that's pretty cool, the yin and the yang. She does have a decent move pool, just she learns by leveling up. And then by TM, she can actually learn a decent amount of moves as well, like different typing, which I love Pokemon like that can, you know, are capable of learning actual decent moves that are different typings, just because, you know, you only get 6 Pokemon on your team. So, but there's a myriad of different typings. So you have to try to have coverage and have something that's super effective against another typing. I mean, you know, you might not have something that's effective against everything, but at least kind of going in, you know, you have something that's super effective, at least one move, if that. And then Espeon, like Umbreon, EV tax. So some of, not all of, but some of her cards are falling more on the expensive side, like the that really awesome alternate art from Fusion Strike where she is sleeping on the roof. I love that card. That is one that I want to collect. Also, there is the there's the shiny Espeon from Hidden Fates, which is also very cute, and I love it, and I would like to get it one day. There's also the Deoxys and Espeon, like, full art promo from Sun and Moon that's really cute, and just kind of looks super cool with Deoxys just, like, kind of hovering up there, and Espeon's like, dang, what's going on? What are we doing? And then there is also the Espeon just comic card from Majestic Dawn that I like because she's just kind of running through the snow, and yeah, I love Espeon. I love snow, so I definitely want the one. And that one is definitely super, super attainable. Or maybe I'll rip it one day. Who knows? But we shall see. And it's actually kind of cool because Umbreon and Espeon, these are 2 Pokemon that I have to use in my Arceus playthrough. Zelda Peace had picked out my team, and Umbreon and Espeon were on them. So make sure you catch my Legends Arceus playthrough. So, since I have an Umbreon and an Espeon in my Sword and Shield playthrough, please enjoy this lovely little video of them hanging out in the camp together. And like Tony always says, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.